Coming to you live from sunny Alice, Florida, from my balcony, while I'm smoking a victory blunt. Today, we're going to talk about Trump 2.2 and what it actually means for you, the American people. You know, there's two ways to look at this. You can look at this as the greatest political comeback in world history, not just American history, in world history. Or you can look at this as a play that these elitists have put in for a long time. And this play has been going on for how long now? About 15 years? All really started with Barack versus Trump. When Trump was running around with that birth certificate saying Obama is not an American citizen, and Obama pushed back on. Now, one thing I've noticed about politics and influencing is if you really don't want to see someone rise and you're in a prominent position, don't talk about them. One of the things I do is if I see big ass haters, I'll attack them, but I won't put their name in the bio, or I'll attack them from my burner, but I won't do it publicly, because what I've seen is as soon as you attack somebody, some of your haters go to them. This is stuff I've seen time and time again. So obviously Barack Obama knew if he engaged with Trump, all his haters would be going to Donald Trump. He had to have known that. You know, in the WWE, when you want to put someone over, when you want to make a new star, you have an old established star going and start battling with a star who's on the rise. And if that star gets a victory, all of a sudden they're rivals. So this started in early 2010, I believe, when Trump started hammering over that birth certificate. And then in 2011, President Obama said something that was never said before by anyone else. At least not that with seriousness. He said, President Donald Trump. He said that. And then when Trump could have ran in 2012, when he was telling people, I'm going to run, he decided not to. And Mitt Romney got his ass whooped by Barack Obama. That was most likely the last legitimate election since 2024 was legitimate, and 2012 was legitimate. Barack Obama won that, and he won it by a landslide. And then after he started talking shit about Trump nonstop, Donald decided to run for president. It's like a fairy book story. Or is it? Was this all planned? I don't see how Barack Obama gets everything he needs done without Donald Trump. I don't see how that's even possible. Barack Obama needed to destroy the Clintons. When he took control of the White House in 2009, and he didn't go power until 2017. What happened? The Clintons were still in control of the DNC. The Clintons still had senators on their payroll. The Clintons still had people in the Senate, in the Congress, in the deep states. Barack Obama, 8 years in the White House. And he took that 8 years not only to prop up Trump, but to destroy the Clintons. After Hillary Clinton lost an election, she was promised she was going to win in 2016. What happened? Barack Obama didn't move out of D.C. He stayed in D.C. And the Clintons lost the Democratic National Committee as soon as she lost the election. Barack put his people in there. If she won, that never would have happened. Barack removed most of the Clintons' agents within the deep state. In 8 years, he was in power. If she was in power, that never would have happened. And then, a couple days ago, in the great state of Ohio, my former home, a place where I know the politicians, a place where I know they're freaking donors. My kids play with their kids. No cap. They had a senator by the name of Sherrod Brown. That was the Clintons' main political asset left. He was there for 3 terms. The Clintons put him in office, and they kept rallying for him, giving him money, but you never saw Obama trying to help the guy. And then Bernie Moreno, someone that my people are very close to, won the election. That in 2022, he was running for senator in Ohio. And Donald Trump called him to the Oval Office and told him drop out. And Bernie Moreno did what he was told. He dropped out because they gave Donald Trump $100 million to get J.D. Vance elected, and that's exactly what happened. Bernie was not happy, but he did what Trump told him. And he was promised 2024. And what happened? He took out the Clintons' last remaining chess piece on the board. Donald Trump and Barack Obama did that. So now we have a government that is Clinton-free for the first time since 1993, baby. The Clintons have been eradicated. Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you, Barack Obama. And by the way, I want you to understand what the difference between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton is. Hillary Clinton will sell you out for anything. She has no ideology. She would have been a Republican if she thought she could make more money off it. She has no ideology. She's for sale. She's a high-priced political whore. That's all she ever was. But those people are extremely dangerous because they're always for sale for the highest bidder. Barack Obama is already a billionaire. The Clintons aren't even billionaires. All that dirt, all that killing, and they haven't even got their fucking complete bag yet. Barack Obama's a billionaire many times over. He's many times richer than Trump. A lot of people don't understand that. And Barack Obama is an ideologue. He believes in communism, socialism. He's not for sale because he has more than enough money. I mean, I'm sure he can be for sale, but cost is going to be very, very high. It's better to deal with someone who's an ideologue like Obama than some whore that's for sale or a Hillary Clinton. But now it's Trump 2.0. What do we expect in the Trump 2.0? Well, let's talk about what happened in Trump 1.0. Social media companies started cracking down on Trump and his people in 2017, 2018, 2019. Hell, the president of the United States got removed off Facebook and Twitter. That was a message to everyone that they can get removed too. Do you remember those days? And what happened because of that? alternative platforms like Truth Social, Rumble, Kick were formed. And because of their formation that didn't exist, I understand people are going to say Parler and all this, but because of their formation, what didn't exist before, YouTube was forced to go more to the center. You could talk about election fraud. You could talk about being fucking deadly now. You couldn't before. Why? Because you have competition now. And when you have competition, all of a sudden, the game changes. So now, you're going to see the pendulum swing the exact other way. You're going to see what happens when people have an abundance of free speech. You know, I've been saying what's up, my nigga, for a long time. For a long time. But I never said it with the ER at the end. I won't. You're going to see a lot of people feel empowered to say that now. You're going to see the extent of free speech now. To the point where some people who are against censorship will be like, you know what? This is a bit much. You're going to see the pendulum swing the other way. And by the next 4 years, some people who are calling for no censorship will be calling for the exact opposite. Donald Trump is a president with less strings attached than any president since John F. Kennedy. But make no mistake, he had to make deals. He had to cut deals to get in office. You can't get in the White House without cutting deals. So let me outline what's going to happen in his administration, which there's going to be a lot of GG33 members a part of, maybe even some in the cabinet. Let's start. First day he's in office, he's going to fire a whole bunch of U.S. attorneys, and a whole bunch of generals will be forced to resign. That's day one. Within the first 100 days, he will meet with Vladimir Putin, and they will strike out a peace deal. The peace deal will be this. Certain parts of the former nation of Ukraine will go to Donald Trump. Will go to Vladimir Putin. Some parts of Ukraine will go to Poland, and it will be under the protection of NATO. The middle of Ukraine will be a demilitarized zone. No NATO, no Russia. Putin's going to have to cut a deal, and he's going to have to put pressure on Iran. Iran will put pressure on Hezbollah, the Houthis, Hamas, and the war in Israel will end. At least there will be a ceasefire, because Trump will rein in Netanyahu. We have 2 peace treaties within the first 100 days. 2. After that, the J6ers will be pardoned. After the J6ers are pardoned, that is when they're going to go after him. That's when they're going to say he's a dictator, even though that's a part of presidential powers. Then you're going to see a whole bunch of women's marches, maybe it's 2, 3. You're definitely going to see one the day after his inauguration on the 21st. And I do plan to be there trolling these fucking whores all day. Great content, by the way. It really is going to be great content. After the J6ers are freed, Donald Trump will hire more ICE agents that's ever been in the nation's history. And then the illegals, we're coming for you. The Democrats will put on the news how families are being broken apart. They're going to try to make you sad. They're going to try to make you feel empathetic. Understand this, a nation must have borders. A nation must have borders. And then, eventually, they're going to crash the market on his ass and blame it on him. (2027) is going to be a big year in the Trump presidency. I'm not going to say yet why, but it's going to be probably the biggest year of his presidency. I'm going to do this influencer thing hard next year. I got a lot of stuff planned. I retire in 2026. You will see me very sparingly. And then in 2027, you will see me again like you've never seen me before. Things are changing in this country at a rate you could not imagine. And lastly, the people who stole the election in 2020. How did Barack Obama and Kamala Harris didn't have the same amount of votes as Joe Biden? Joe Biden had 81 million votes. Where'd those 15 million votes go? They didn't go to all to Trump because he has the same amount of votes as he had in 2020, around the same. They stole the election in 2020. And all you people want to talk to Trump about this. I will tell Trump this. You better hold those people accountable. Because if you don't, they're going to come after you when you leave office. I told you what would happen to you when you left office. They killed your brother. They killed your ex-wife. They tried to put you in prison. You have to eradicate the cancer before it spreads. And the way you eradicate the cancer is you find the people responsible for what happened in election 2020 and you put them in prison. I'm not talking about Joe Biden or Barack Obama. They're too big for prison. But their lackeys, lock them up. Lock them up. And throw the fucking key away. Because if you don't, when you are forced to leave, they will come for you and they will finish the job. Lastly, I've been hearing a rumor. That 2028, again, a lot of people, including myself, have said maybe Gavin Newsom, Michelle Obama as the ticket. But there's a chance something else could happen. There's a chance the Republicans will try to repeal term limits for president so Donald Trump can run for a third term. And there's a good chance the Democrats will go along with it. And you'll ask me, why would the Democrats go along with the Republicans to try to give Trump a third term? Well, it's very simple. Some of you guys have figured it out. Because there's another guy who's pretty young by presidential standards. And he already had 2 terms. Barack Obama. This story that started with Barack and Trump might have a final chapter in 2028 when they both went for a third term. A lot of laws will have to be changed. A lot of things will have to change. But it's possible, and I'm putting it out there before anyone else. This has been a GG33 production.